Last summer we brewed no fewer than 10 collaboration beers to celebrate the channel's 10th birthday. And the only one we didn't make a film about was Short Shorts, our delicious Simcoe and Strata Pale Ale with Baron. Well, summer's back in the UK, so we decided to take the beautiful drive to Buntingford, East Hertfordshire to brew a bigger, bolder IPA version. And to get the story behind a brewery we tipped to do great things way back in 2022, and who delivered on that big time, despite being a tiny but talented one-man band.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed when we play our roles and ignore the problem.
Firstly, Jack, thanks for having us. And we're literally standing outside the brewery that Jack built.
We are, yes.
So, like,
Yes.
you made this. This was your lockdown project.
This was a lockdown project, a project that got out of hand.
You could
And-
say so, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. I referred to it as a shed when I was building it because then it made it feel like I was just home brewing at home.
Yeah.
But it got a bit bigger. It was 9 months of sort of learning how to be a builder instead of a brewer.
Yeah. Because what's your background? What did you start as?
I've always been a brewer. I studied the brewing degree in Edinburgh at Heriot Watt for 4 years. I was 19 when I did that and didn't have a massive interest in craft beer when I was 19. I sort of just did it because it sounded like fun. And then graduated in 2017 and then worked in the industry in other breweries. And then, during lockdown, thought it would be about the right time to have lockdown's a perfect time to open your own business, sure. Yeah. So
I guess if there's ever a time to take a risk,
Yeah.
it's when the world is like
Falling
totally
apart.
different.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So let's go inside and have a look at what you built because I think it's pretty amazing. So you're telling me you fabricated everything in here?
Pretty much, yeah. It's quite straightforward when you're starting with nothing, because don't really have a plan on what it's going to look like. I planned on there being 8 tanks because I'd drawn out in pencil how I wanted the brewery to look, and I wanted there to be enough space because everywhere I've worked before is you go into a brewery and they try and fit 15 tanks into like a shoebox. So I was thinking 8 tanks would be perfect. This is a new one that I managed to squeeze in afterwards.
I think it's amazing. It feels like an incredibly purpose-built space.
Yeah.
You've got the height going on. I love all the natural light coming in from all the windows. It must be a lovely place to work.
It's a nice place to work.
Yeah.
And it's quite easy to keep. Yeah, it doesn't feel too much like a brewery when you're not making the beer.
Yeah.
When I'm brewing, covered in wet and grain, but on a down day, still nice and toasty in here.
Yeah.
And it's all right. Originally, I was planning on doing a range that was more experimental than just the hazy stuff.
Yeah.
But I reckon 70 to 80% of the beers I make are hoppy and hazy. Do like doing lagers, do like doing dark stuff. Originally I think one of the first beers I did was a Dunkel, and I did a barley wine. And these are hard sells at the beginning. But now, I started doing a lot of hazies and people buying those. So.
Incredible hazies.
Thank you. I like doing that stuff. That's what I planned on doing as a majority at the beginning, but it's gotten out of hand.
We were talking earlier, and you were saying you're kind of happy in this space that you've got here, and you wouldn't necessarily want to grow much bigger.
It's a tough one. I really like this scale.
Yeah.
It's not a vast amount of beer. It's 11 hectolitre kit, so get about just shy of 2,000 pints out of a tank.
Yeah.
And I'm on my own. I don't have anyone else working with me, so I can just about make and sell that amount of beer 4 times every 3 weeks. So it works roughly for me. And to upscale would be quite a big thing. But
so you are the brew team. You're the packaging. You're a one-man band, essentially.
Yeah, I'm getting slicker at it at the beginning. That was too much for me to cope with, and now you get used to what you do, so I can cope. Sometimes people come and volunteer and help me on a brew day.
Nice.
Or or on a canning day, which is always nice. Well, I've always thought of this more as a studio. It sounds a bit lame, but like a studio artist in a studio making what they want to make, rather than a big commercial brewery. So my mother was a ceramicist, and she made stuff that she liked to make, and then she would sell it if people wanted to buy it. But if someone came to her and said, "Oh, I want you to make me some of this," she would say, "That's not what I do." Yeah. So I don't know whether I was influenced by that, but I've always liked the idea of having an art form, happened to be beer, but that's lovely, and being able to create something you're really proud of and sell it. I'm very lucky that it's the style of thing I make is the sort of thing people want to buy at the moment. It's more scientific than just an art, but it's a really good mixture of art and science, and then the business side.
We were talking earlier about science and art being your passions from a young age, and that brewing almost combines those things together. I must say, Jack, you've got an incredible brand, I think.
Thank you.
I'm wearing your hat. That's how much I like it. I don't think I've ever done this in a video before. I really like it. I think it's great. And the artwork on every can that you're putting out is incredible. Who's your artist?
Well, I can't take credit for the artwork. So I have very talented friends who helped me create a brand at the beginning, and and actually I don't really have a huge say at all. I send them silly names.
Yes.
And they do exactly what they want. And as long as it's not ripping anyone else off or it's offensive.
Where's my sword?
That's named after a pub called the Sword in Hand up the road. And they take basically the whole batch.
See, that's nice, because if you weren't from around here, you would have no idea. No. But it just sounds like a great little thing anyway. Fill your boots. They're
often like catchphrase. I feel like Stephen Mulhern should be coming up with these names. And as long as I have used so far about 12 different artists, I use 3 or 4 of them really reliably, but they're sent a similar brief of what the brand outline.
That's crazy. I just, in my brain, I just assumed it was the same artist. They're so sort of unified in the colour palette. And
that's the nice. Yeah. It's nice to have something that ties them together, but then there still be something quite different about. Yeah. Some of the styles are very cartoon. So Max, who did this one, he's a tattoo artist, and you can tell.
Oh yeah. Strong line work.
Phil is more of a
painterly.
Yeah. It's more painty. Oh my God! The first one I pick up.
Hey, look at that.
Labels of short shorts. That was awesome. A massive. I've just got a drawer full of scraps, so I was very lucky that was there.
So you just pulled this out of a drawer, Jack. This is our collab we did last year for our 10-year celebration. Short shorts. I'm claiming the inspiration is because I've been known to sport a pair of short shorts.
Absolutely, it's you there.
That's me, right? Yeah. Which is I think it's quite flattering. I look like a sort of sexy caveman with my pint glass. I love it.
It's cool design.
And this was kind of like made by different people, right?
Have you ever done the kids thing where you
fold the paper? Yeah. And then someone draws the legs, then someone draws the knees.
So Max and Harry Wilde, who are brothers, who do a lot of the artwork, who are sort of the original artists, they did this together. Yeah. And very silly shorts. That's great. It's like the perfect design.
It's fantastic. And the beer was amazing. So
thank you.
Today we're kind of like moving on the shorts movement.
We're going up a gear.
We're going up a gear to like dad level. To board shots.
Stepping it up from pale to IPA.
Yeah. So the shorts get longer and the beers get bigger.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Nice.
I reckon we'll go for like a surf theme.
Nice, I like that.
Dude with a beer on a surfboard in a wave.
Yeah, you wouldn't really want to surf in short shorts. It'd be a bit too much.
I'm going to leave the rest of that sentence to your imagination and divert us towards the beer that we just spent the last hour and a bit mashing in and resting. Copious amounts of pale malt, wheat and oat went into this particular porridge, which is pretty standard for a hazy IPA. But I've been determined to add some twist to the recipe to make it lighter, brighter, zingier, bitterer, and thankfully, Jack was keen. So Jack, generally when we do a collab, we're coming at it pretty cold, whereas we've got quite a lot of data to go on. Firstly, we've brewed a beer loosely based on this recipe for our 10th birthday.
We have.
Which can I say, for drinkability, like returnability, horrible phrase, straight from a focus group, it was my favourite beer of the whole thing.
Ah.
And secondly, we have this. which has quite a few of the hops in common.
Well, when we were talking about the collab we did last year, I thought it was very nice, but I thought it lacked a little zing. It was nice. It was very sort of deep fruity thing, but it didn't have any of the sharpness or bitterness that I would expect an IPA version of that beer to have. So I think we were both in agreement that having a punchier version, more bitter, and its ABV and its natural, the rates of use of all the ingredients will hopefully enhance it anyway.
Yeah.
But also to sharpen up a bit. So
yeah, because like Strata and Simcoe are both quite rounded fruit flavors. Like one's quite sort of sweet and sticky. Well, in fact, they're both quite sweet and sticky. That was the issue. So we've added, which wasn't in the original short shorts, we've added motueka.
Yeah.
Which is lemon, lime, and kind of a little bit coconutty. Yeah.
Or it's a one-off. You don't have any other hops that smell much like motueka. It's quite unique. And a kiwi hop, so that'd be nice to throw something different in the mix.
You seem to quite like Antipodean hops. You put them into quite,
I almost always use them. No, they're great. And we've got some hop keef, which is a new style of hop.
Yeah, tell me what keef is, because this was new to me when we were emailing.
I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's a incredibly condensed version of the essence, the oil part of the hop. And you need 275 millilitres. It's in liquid form. 275 millilitres equates to a whole bag of 5 kilos of motueka. So
wow.
We'll be using it as a portion just in case that overpowers anything. But yeah, and Strata's going to be taking a pretty big role, particularly in the hot side, which I've never used in the hot side. So this is exciting for me.
I feel like because it's dank and passion fruity tart and cannabisy sticky. Like for some reason, I feel like heating it. Maybe it's because you liked marijuana, you consume it hot. It feels like it should work hot side, you know? Is it going to amp up some stickiness and?
Maybe, yeah. And we're boosting that bitterness with. It's a bitter hop. It's got a high alpha acid, and it'll be fairly bitter.
And that bitterness, we were talking about this earlier. Like Pilsner Urquell's 42. If you're beneath that and you're calling it an IPA, I don't know. I struggle with that, but so we're going 43.
On the cusp of your acceptance.
43 IBU, and then like we've raised the sulfates a little bit on the usual beers just to try and, because I'm really keen that it retains the drinkability that the original had, but that's trickier at a thicker, richer bodied 6.5% beer.
Yeah, my chlorides are very high in general. I try and boost them, and the sulfates are very, very low. So to balance that a bit, make it a little less claggy. Raise the sulfates. And
claggy can be joyful.
Claggy can be joyful.
With this one, we're trying to brighten it up.
What a t-shirt that would be. Claggy can be joyful. It'll be. I think this is an exciting IPA for me because I have being pulled in directions by you, which is nice, that I normally don't even think about. So it's actually really nice to be, collaborative.
It's great to have that pressure on me if this is a terrible beer.
I'm blaming you.
I mean, probably doubling the sulfates probably won't make or break this beer, but maybe it will add to its drinkability and its kind of finishing snap.
Yeah.
What I would say, so firstly, I want to say that I absolutely love this, but you give away absolutely everything on the can. So everything that we're talking about here will be appearing. Like on this one we're reading, you get the water chemistry, you get the yeast, you get the exact grains. Haven't put the percentages of the grains on yet. Maybe that's.
Oh, I don't want to tell everyone everything. Yeah.
That's your secret sauce.
That's the secret.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like having something to read when I'm having a beer. It's nice to have.
So it's like the back of a cereal packet for you in the morning.
It's mostly for my own brain to be like to remember what I've done each time. And if people want to have a go at replicating it, then I'm just flattered that they want to have a go. Yeah.
Well, I hope you folk at home enjoy this. I'm hoping it's going to be as refreshing as wearing a pair of board shorts and I don't know, that bit where you're trying to get out into the surf, but just you 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's my surfing experience. So being hit in the face by salt water and a slightly elevated sulfate level. Cheers, Jack.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
With that pretty tortured metaphor over, it was time to transfer the wort and get the boil going. With literally minutes to spare, that was the moment that the good folk Jack had bought the hops from came with a bang fresh bag of Strata. Rather than weigh them out and be ready for the hop edition in about 30 minutes, we couldn't resist giving them a rub. So I am here, obviously with Jack, who's brewing the beer with us, and Dan from Lochran Ingredient Suppliers, who have brought over this hallowed thing, which is bang fresh Strata hops from the last harvest, right?
Yes, indeed, sir.
So whereabouts in the US does this come from?
This is from Oregon. This is from our friends at Indie Hops. So yeah, Strata itself has been in development for the last sort of 5-6 years. This is fresh off the boat, as in 2 days ago it landed. There's only been sort of 3 or 4 brewers in the UK that have had to brew with this crop so far, this crop year 23. Stunningly fresh, full of kind of fleshy melon, bright citrus, nice strawberry. A little bit of rock concert cannabis wafting in the back there, just for that kind of danky
You have to
earthy
explain
note.
rock concert.
I'm pretty sure the vast majority of your viewers
right,
know,
okay.
know what it is. If
Fair
not,
enough.
Google it, kids.
Not kids. Should we get our faces in it?
For me, it's gorgeous, but it's got so many individual characteristics that are unique to this hop, and it really stands up on its own in a solo hop beer. It also just goes great with your kind of classic big hitters, which I think we're gonna use in today's brew.
Yeah, it's got fleshy strawberry and melon are the ones I'm getting.
And it really translates into that kind of fleshy melon on the palate.
Yeah,
Delicious.
it's going to be great with strawberry and melon kind of flavors, along with the motueka. It's going to be a little bit spiky, limey.
God damn, that's dank.
Oh yeah.
It's I mean, I don't know what rock concert is, but I presume that it's alluding to the fact that maybe a concert with a melange of different things being smoked.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
just an all-round dankiness.
Yeah.
Sweaty man and
And
enjoyment.
sweatiness, yeah. Lovely, lovely
Love
stuff.
it.
I can't wait to put this into the whirlpool and see what comes firing back out of us, aroma-wise, obviously. Over the moon with the aroma, we got busy weighing out all the additions and artfully adding them to the boil and chilled whirlpool, before throwing in the WHC saturated yeast that Jack uses for nearly all his hoppy beers. Aside from a hefty 21 gram per litre dry hop, all that was left to do was wait until the canning day, which I, having taken a hint from Jack earlier,
Sometimes people come and volunteer and help me on a brew day
Nice.
or on a canning day, which is always nice.
decided to come back and do a shift during. I also just wanted to see how good the label looked in real life, and I was not disappointed. Alrighty, so we interrupt a very busy packaging day for you. You're in the middle of five runs in 2 days?
5 runs in 2 days.
Yeah, and we are number 4, right?
We are number 4.
And this is board shorts. I have to say, you've absolutely made a glorious label and a perfect addition to Brad's semi-nude appearance on the last one. We were saying before, this is not the finished product, right?
No.
When these beers go into can, they're going to be green, maybe a little bit kind of powdery and rough on the finish.
Yeah.
But there's,
It's promise.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So very excited to try this.
Sharp.
Sharp, big bitter finish. I love how manual
Sorry,
the process. Just got to push them under
can start doing that.
under the road. So like, I get green fruit pastels and lime and passion fruit on the aroma,
Yeah.
and it's big and it's bold and it's bitter right now. How much of that do you reckon is going to stick around?
From experience with this level of hopping and on packaging day it being so green, the aroma is much more similar to what it eventually tastes like. So, which is a good sign because it smells lovely. It's a really nice mixture of the grassy dank strata and the very opposite limey motueka.
And that's what we wanted. We really wanted that edge to add. And it's definitely got that limey, sharp character that the Simcoe and the Strata didn't have on short shorts.
Yeah.
So I think that's mission accomplished. It's whether
it calms down.
the extra sulfur, whether the extra bitterness is going to mean more drinkability, or if you go too far, it can be less. Cool. Well, I'm very excited about this. I think that liminess, that bitterness is going to be good. It's going to feel zingy, and we've got all that stickiness underneath. You can still taste it, but it is hidden by the greenness.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this.
Me too.
We'll see what Brad thinks and what the punters think. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hoppy beers are often bitter, bitey, and pretty muted aroma-wise off the canning line, something brewers refer to as being a bit green. But this beer was already smelling incredible, and I couldn't wait to take a can for Brad to try. And if you're watching this video in the first week or so, then you can try it too.
So, canning day looked fun, Johnny.
Yeah, I put in a shift.
How was the beer? A little bit green, maybe?
Yeah, it definitely was. Some real chalky kind of bitterness, but that's to be expected. The aroma was incredible, and I've had a can since. I'm not going to lie to you, Bradley.
Oh, what? I thought this is a world exclusive here, Johnny.
No, I've had 2 or 3 cans already.
Mate, this is
get-
unbelievable.
Get your face in this. So it's a 6.5% New England IPA. Strata and Simcoe, same as board shorts. Bang fresh Strata this time though. And then motueka and motueka keef, so super distilled liquid form of that hop. And as you're about to find out, the aroma is insane.
It's like umbongo, mate.
Yeah, super tropical vibes.
Wow.
Peach and pineapple.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pineapple, big time. I'm getting like a lilt kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Fun.
And that peach probably from the WHC saturated. Strata's bringing a bit of dankness, a bit of pine as well, I think. And the Simcoe, yeah, definitely pine.
Yeah.
But what I love about this is before you get your face full on in it, you just get a massive waft of lime peel.
Oh yeah, it's like
A real
really
top
summery.
note. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really quite special as aroma. A little bit complex, which we don't necessarily associate with New England IPAs.
This has got to be the juiciest collab we've potentially ever made.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean possibly the best aroma we've achieved with a commercial brewery.
Incredible.
Let's get our faces in, see if the double saturation, double sulfates, and the 43 IBUs of bitterness have mellowed out.
Yeah, man. That is cracking.
Yeah. So it starts off like a classic New England, loads of peachy, velvetiness, sweetness, kind of stickiness, but then definitely 43 IBUs.
Yeah.
Like even now, it may be a little bit too much, and it's going to mellow out even further because this can is, less than a week old. But I think the sulfates is really helping making it crisp. It cuts right through, and I think that's what even a New England IPA should be like. There should be a certain bitterness. It should clean up that stickiness.
It's got that little kind of nettly sting at the end to it, with
Nettle
a little bit
sting's
of
right,
bitterness. And it's like, it's not clawing like a lot of New England IPAs. It's got like kind of like crisp freshness to it.
Yeah, it really does.
Very
And
sessionable.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like say like the Alchemist beers where it's all kind of juicy and aromatic and beautiful, and then there's a massive punch at the finish.
Freight train.
Freight train hits you. Yeah, it's carrying a lot of juice, but it's still a freight train. So 2 questions left. 1, are you going to be joining us on the 31st of May for a drink along with Baron? We've got a delicious 8-pack, including 2 board shorts, and we'll be interviewing Jack live on YouTube on the 31st of May. So you can grab that box below if you're watching this in the next week or so.
And the second question, Johnny. Now we've made short shorts, board shorts getting longer, which is a bigger beer. Are we going to make trousers dipper?
Trousers dipper?
Yeah,
Baggy
trousers
trousers quipper?
Whoa.
The end, there's there's some end. There must be an end. But yes, to trousers dipper.
It's a trousers dipper.
It's happening, Jack.
How much I miss now, know that we're all screwed when we play our roles and ignore the problems. I wish I knew